Can I ask you something personal? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, not just once but 2, maybe 3 times, fumbling in the dark trying to make it to the bathroom before your bladder gives out? Maybe it's become so normal you don't even question it anymore. You just accept it as part of your nightly routine, like brushing your teeth or turning off the lights. You lay your head down, exhausted, hoping for a good night's rest, only to feel that familiar pressure a few hours later. You sigh, sit up slowly, your legs stiff, maybe your knees ache a little, and you shuffle to the bathroom hoping you don't trip over the edge of the rug. Again. And when you finally crawl back under the covers, your body is cold, your mind is racing, and just as you start to fall asleep again, it happens all over again. If this sounds like you, you're not alone. Not even close. In fact, for millions of seniors, this has become a nightly struggle. And maybe the worst part? You've been told it's just normal. But here's the truth. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And it certainly doesn't mean you have to live with it. You deserve rest. Deep, uninterrupted rest. The kind of sleep that leaves you feeling refreshed in the morning instead of groggy, irritated, or even afraid to leave the house the next day. But if no one's told you this before, let me be the one to say it. You're not waking up to pee at night just because you're getting older. In fact, there are 3 very specific mistakes that most people make, without even realizing it, that are quietly sabotaging your sleep. Every single night. These are mistakes that seem harmless, simple choices that have snuck into your routine over the years. But they're triggering your bladder, disturbing your body's natural rhythms, and slowly draining the peace out of your nights. In this video, we're going to break those 3 mistakes down in plain language. We're not just going to name them, we're going to show you why they cause problems, what you can do instead, and how just a few small tweaks can make a big difference in how you sleep tonight. No complicated medical talk. No shame. Just the truth. Because when you understand your body better, you can take care of it smarter. And by the time we're done, you'll have tools you can use right away to start taking your nights back. Without medication, without fear, and without sacrificing the comfort you've earned. So, before we dive in, tell me in the comments. Do you wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just to go to the bathroom? If you do, just type, "I'm here" below. You're not complaining, you're connecting. And trust me, a lot of others are in the same boat. And hey, if you're new here or haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more clear, compassionate, and science-backed tips from Age Well Tips for Seniors. Now, let's get into it, because the 2 mistakes we're about to reveal might just be the reason you haven't had a full night's sleep in years. Let's fix that, together. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold. Mr. Harold is 73. He still walks his dog every morning. He loves gardening. And he likes to brag about how he can still carry his own groceries up the stairs, without help, thank you very much. During the day he's sharp, cheerful, and full of life. But come nighttime, everything changes. Every night, without fail, Harold wakes up at least twice. Sometimes 3 times. First around midnight, then again at 3:15, and if he's unlucky, once more before the sun rises. He used to think it was just part of aging. "It's my prostate," he'd say, shrugging. "Nothing I can do about it." But the truth is it had nothing to do with his prostate. You see, Harold had picked up a little habit. After dinner, right before heading to bed, he would drink a tall glass of water, sometimes 2. He believed he was doing the right thing. Staying hydrated, flushing his system, and keeping things clean. He had read somewhere that hydration was key to longevity, so he took that advice seriously. The only problem was no one ever told him when to drink, or how much was too much, especially in the evening. Does this sound familiar? Maybe you do something similar. Maybe you sip on a warm cup of tea before bed. Or you take your evening medications with a full glass of water. Maybe you even down a bottle of your favorite electrolyte drink, thinking you're helping your body recover from the day. But here's what no one tells you. As we age, our kidneys change. They don't process fluids as quickly or efficiently as they used to. Your bladder muscles, those dependable muscles that used to hold everything in until morning, become less elastic and less strong. So when you take in too much fluid in the evening, even if it's healthy fluid, your body can't hold on to it like it used to. And guess what happens? Your bladder calls out, loudly, in the middle of the night. Now let's pause right there, because this is where a lot of well-meaning folks make a mistake. They assume the fix is to drink less liquid overall. But that's not the answer. You still need hydration. Just not at the wrong time. Let's clear up one big misconception. A lot of seniors believe drinking water before bed helps flush out toxins. I've even heard some say, "I sleep better after tea." But tea, especially herbal blends like chamomile or green tea, can actually be mild diuretics, which means they make you urinate more. Same goes for citrus juices, some flavored waters, even warm lemon water. And of course, caffeine and alcohol? Those are nighttime sleep thieves in disguise. So what can you do? Here's a better approach. One that puts you back in control of your sleep. Start your hydration early. Drink water in the morning and sip regularly throughout the afternoon. Aim to get most of your daily fluid intake before 5 p.m. Sip, don't chug. Small sips keep your system balanced. Gulping large amounts, especially all at once, can overwhelm your kidneys. Avoid drinks that stir the bladder. That means no caffeine after lunch. Cut back on wine, beer, and spirits in the evening. And think twice about those so-called bedtime teas. And here's a bonus tip. Check your medications. Some blood pressure or heart medications can act as diuretics. If you're taking them at night, talk to your doctor about switching to a morning schedule. Never change it on your own, but definitely bring it up. Making these changes doesn't mean giving up your comfort or your evening routine. It just means timing things better so your body works with you, not against you. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even one less bathroom trip a night can mean a deeper, more restful sleep, and a safer, more confident morning. But what if you've already tried cutting back on fluids and the problem still isn't going away? Well, there's another habit. One that doesn't seem connected at first, but it's quietly working behind the scenes. It affects your bladder. It affects your kidneys. And more than anything, it affects your sleep. Most folks don't even realize they're doing it. Let's talk about that next, because this next one might surprise you even more. Let me introduce you to Evelyn. Evelyn is a 68-year-old retiree. She lives with her daughter and loves her evening routines, watching game shows, reading a few chapters of her book, then treating herself to a little snack before bed. A few crackers here, a slice of toast there, maybe a cookie or two with decaf tea. Harmless stuff, right? At least that's what Evelyn thought. But over time, her nights started falling apart. She began waking up once a night, then twice. Soon it was 3 times. She couldn't get through a full REM cycle, and by morning she was groggy, frustrated, and dragging through the day. She told her daughter. And just like so many family members do, her daughter shrugged and said, "Well, you're getting older, Mom. It's normal." But something about that answer didn't sit right with Evelyn. So she went to her doctor. They ran a few tests, talked about her daily habits. And when they got to her nighttime routine, the doctor paused. Those little evening snacks? They were harmless after all. In fact, they were quietly setting off a chain reaction in her body that was keeping her up all night. Here's what was happening, and it might be happening to you too. When you eat salty or sugary foods before bed, especially processed snacks, they don't just sit in your stomach. They get to work. High sugar causes a spike in your blood glucose, and your body responds by pulling water from your tissues to help flush it out. For snacks with high salt, that's even trickier. Salt makes your body hold on to water, but only for a little while. Then your kidneys start working overtime to remove the excess sodium, and with it comes more urine production. And here's the kicker. This all happens while you sleep. You might have stopped eating hours ago, but your body is still hard at work, trying to balance itself, trying to undo what those innocent snacks did. You wake up again and again, not because your bladder is weak, but because your body is trying to fix a chemical imbalance you didn't know you caused. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't eat that much sugar. Or, it's just a few crackers. Or maybe, I'm not diabetic, so this doesn't apply to me. But here's where the misconception creeps in. You don't have to be diabetic for blood sugar to matter. You don't have to be a salt addict to throw off your system. Even tiny amounts, especially from processed or packaged foods, can push your body out of balance. And unfortunately, many of the snacks we think are senior-friendly really aren't. Low-fat cookies, diet crackers, granola bars, digestive biscuits. They're often packed with refined carbs, hidden sugars, and sneaky sodium. Even that wheat toast? Look closer, it may have added sugar and preservatives. So what's the solution? Make simple, smart swaps. Instead of crackers or cookies, try a handful of apple slices. The fiber slows sugar release, and it hydrates you gently without flooding your bladder. A spoonful of plain yogurt can be soothing, and it contains natural probiotics that support digestion. A boiled egg is another great option. Rich in protein, low in sugar, and it won't spike your insulin or trigger late-night trips. And above all, watch your blood sugar patterns. You don't need to prick your finger daily, but be aware of how you feel after eating. Are you thirsty? Tired? Restless at night? Those are signs your body is asking for help. You see, Evelyn didn't realize it either, until she tried changing her snack. She swapped her toast for a bit of cottage cheese and berries. She cut back on processed carbs after dinner. Within a week, she was sleeping longer. Waking up once, maybe not at all. It wasn't a miracle. It was awareness. And the same can happen for you. These little adjustments, when you eat what you eat and how your body reacts, make all the difference in the quiet hours of the night. But before we move on, there's one more habit we haven't talked about yet, one that catches many people off guard because it's so subtle, so routine, that you might not even think it could be connected to your nighttime bathroom trips. And yet, it might be the missing piece to your puzzle. Let's explore it together. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 75 and lives alone, and spends most of his evenings watching TV on the couch with his feet up on a low coffee table. Seems harmless, right? He doesn't drink late and he avoids sweets at night. But still, every night he wakes up once or twice to use the bathroom. He was baffled. Until one visit to his doctor changed everything. The doctor asked a simple question: "Do your ankles swell in the evening?" Robert looked down and realized yes, they did. He had just gotten used to it. You see, during the day, fluid tends to build up in your legs, especially if you're sitting still for long periods or have reduced circulation, which is common as we age. When you finally lie down at night, gravity shifts, and that built-up fluid starts to move back into your bloodstream. Your kidneys interpret that shift as extra fluid, and guess what they do? They tell your bladder, time to go. That's why so many seniors who sit most of the evening, or those with swelling in their legs, wake up with an urgent need to pee. Here's what's important to understand. It's not always about how much you drink. Sometimes, it's about when and how your body decides to move that fluid. So what can you do? A couple hours before bed, try light movement. Walk around your home, stretch, or stand and do simple ankle circles. Just 10 minutes can make a difference. Elevate your legs for about 30 minutes, ideally with your feet above the level of your heart. This helps redistribute the fluid gradually so your body doesn't flood your kidneys all at once at night. Talk to your doctor if you notice swelling in your ankles or feet. It could signal a circulation issue, heart strain, or something that deserves closer attention. The key here is gentle, intentional movement. Nothing extreme. Just enough to help your body regulate itself before you head off to sleep. So now we've got the full picture. 3 quiet, easily overlooked habits, each one affecting your body in a unique way. And each one gives you a chance to reclaim your sleep. Because we've now covered the 3 biggest mistakes most seniors make when it comes to nighttime bathroom trips. So let's take a moment to recap. We've uncovered 3 surprising mistakes that often lead to nighttime bathroom trips, and all 3 are things you can take control of. Drinking too much water or the wrong fluids too late in the evening. Eating salty or sugary snacks before bed, without realizing their effect. Sitting too long in the evening without moving your legs or supporting your circulation. Each one might seem small on its own, but together they can quietly chip away at your peace, your rest, and your confidence. And maybe you're seeing yourself in these stories. Maybe you're thinking about the tall glass of water you had before brushing your teeth, or the crackers you nibble on while watching the news. This isn't just about broken sleep. It's about something deeper. Let's shift gears now, because the next part of this journey is about you. Your dignity, your confidence, and your ability to take back control over something that's been quietly stealing your peace. Let's talk about that. Let's face it, waking up multiple times a night isn't just inconvenient. It's exhausting. It wears on your body, but even more than that, it wears on your spirit. You start the night hopeful. Tuck yourself in. Close your eyes. And then, not long after, the cycle begins. Again. By the second or third trip to the bathroom, your confidence starts to slip. You start to dread nighttime. You worry about going on overnight trips, staying with family, or visiting friends. You wonder, what if I don't make it in time? And slowly, you begin to shrink your world. You don't talk about it because who really wants to? It feels private, embarrassing even. You might smile through it during the day, but deep down, you know your nights are no longer your own. You lie in bed at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling thinking, is this just how it is now? But let me stop you right there, because here's the truth. This does not have to be your new normal. Yes, your body changes with age. That's real. But bladder issues, poor sleep, and that feeling of helplessness? They're not something you have to just deal with. The good news? You now have clarity. And with clarity comes power. This isn't just part of getting old. It's often the result of habits that can be changed. Gently. Gradually. Thoughtfully. You can take your nights back. It starts with small steps. Track your fluid intake. Write it down on a simple piece of paper. What time you drink, how much, and how often you wake up. Patterns will appear. Trust me, they always do. Rethink your evening snacks. Swap the processed stuff for something real, something kind to your body. Your bladder will thank you. Talk to your doctor. And not just about your age. Ask about your medications, your blood sugar, your salt intake. Sometimes the real answers are hiding in plain sight. Get moving, gently. About 60 to 90 minutes before bed, get up and move for just 5 to 10 minutes. Walk slowly around your home. March in place. Stretch your legs. Do a lap down the hallway and back. You're not exercising, you're just getting your circulation flowing and encouraging your body to push that fluid out during waking hours. Elevate your legs before you lie down. Here's a powerful tip most people don't know. If you spend 20 to 30 minutes with your legs elevated, preferably with your feet slightly above your heart, it can help move fluid out of your lower legs and back into your bloodstream before you lie down to sleep. You can do this by lying on the couch with your legs propped up on pillows, or reclining in a chair with a supportive leg rest. Do it while watching your favorite evening show. That way it becomes part of your routine. Avoid sitting still for long periods. If you've been sitting for an hour or more, try to stand and stretch every 30 to 60 minutes. Even just standing up, shaking out your legs, and taking a few steps helps break the cycle of fluid pooling in the lower body. Use TV commercial breaks as a reminder to move. Wear compression socks, if your doctor recommends it. Some seniors benefit from mild compression socks during the day, especially if swelling is an ongoing issue. These help prevent fluid from settling in the lower legs, which in turn helps reduce that nighttime shift of fluid. Always talk to your doctor before starting compression wear, especially if you have heart or circulation concerns. Pay attention to signs of swelling. If your feet, ankles, or lower legs look puffy in the evening, or if your socks leave deep marks on your skin, take it seriously. That's your body quietly saying, something's not draining properly. Don't ignore it. Start with these gentle tips. And bring it up with your healthcare provider during your next check-in. And if you try these things and you still feel stuck, that's okay. That's what medical guidance is for. Sometimes what feels like a simple issue can point to something deeper, like sleep apnea, hormone shifts, or even mild heart strain. But here's the difference. You'll be going into that doctor's office informed, more prepared, and more in control. Because you've started the work. You've decided that your peace, your dignity, your rest, they matter. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You don't have to accept restless nights. You don't have to accept shrinking your life. There's hope. There's help. And just by listening this far, you're already halfway there. You've taken the first, and most important, step. You've paid attention. You've learned. And now, you're ready to act. Not out of fear, but out of love. For yourself. For your body. For your future. And friend, let me tell you something, that matters. It really, really does. So let's take a moment to recap. And now I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment and scroll down to the comments. Tell me, have you noticed these habits in your own life, or in someone you care about? Which of the two surprised you more? Maybe you've been sipping tea at night thinking it was helping, or maybe you just realized those evening crackers might not be so harmless after all. Comment below. Even if it's just to say, I'm going to try this. You never know who you'll encourage just by sharing your story. And if this video helped you understand what's really going on at night, if it brought you clarity or even just a bit of peace, don't keep that to yourself. Subscribe to Age Well Tips for Seniors for more simple, science-backed advice made just for you. This isn't about overwhelming or medical jargon. It's about real answers in plain language from someone who's on your side. Every day we're here to help you sleep better, feel better, and live with more confidence. One small step at a time. And finally, thank you. Thank you for being here. For caring about your health. For giving yourself permission to grow even now. You're not alone in this. So many others are walking this same road, asking the same questions, hoping for the same peace. And peace is possible. With knowledge, awareness, and a little kindness toward your body, you can wake up feeling rested again. You can age with strength, with clarity, and yes, with joy. So until next time, sleep well, age strong, and I'll see you in the next video.